أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to our webinar today, our IIIT Far East Monthly Community Development Webinar. And we are very grateful that our Ustadz Mamoon Al-Azami will be the speaker of today. In fact, he is the backbone of our program, and he helped to the networking of speakers from different parts of the world. And he is one of the main speakers. And today's topic is managing life priorities, which is a very important topic for all of us. I think all of you would agree. So without due, actually, Ustadh Mamoon Al-Azami need no introduction. But just to be very brief, he is the international NGO management consultant for IIIT, and he has been over 30 years of international training and development experience. So without due, may I invite Ustadh Mamoon to take the floor. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Welcome everybody. Assalamu alaikum, and may Allah bless you all.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Today, as you can see on the screen, this is the topic of today. But what I will do is I will first show you the contents and ask you to share your own experience first before I share my slides. I have something like 40, more than 40 slides, but these are the contents. It's talking about purpose, process, and product. Remember, this is the heading. What's the purpose of life priority management? Then what's the process and what do we get out of it? So these 8 are the contents. I would like to ask from the brothers present to share their experience of how they manage their life priorities. I would like brother from Vice Principal from Hong Kong, Brother Abu Bakr. He's
Naam. Assalamualaikum.
If you can share, how do you manage life priorities? It would be good, and I would ask others to also join in. I can see from Abdul Quddus Khan from Finland has joined. Okay, Brother Abu Bakr, please share wisdom.
Basically, I think we learn from the Quran that the purpose is to worship Allah. Allah created mankind and jinn just for the purpose of to worship Him. So with this Quran in mind, so I think the whole purpose of life is to worship Allah. By worship Allah, it doesn't mean that we only pray in the masjid. We follow His guideline and as exemplified by the Prophet's life, and in whatever our life, so we should follow his guidance. So this is the purpose as far as I know. Of course, in terms of the priority, now sometimes we have to because we are employed by the organization, so we must follow the organization priorities. So for example, if we work from 9 to 5 to work as an organization, so we must go to the office to work. So this is our priority. But after the office, then we should also make priority. For example, we should now, for example, now people like to talk about work-life balance. So not only in terms of dawah, also I think we cannot devote 24 hours for dawah without taking into consideration the needs of our family members. So we have to spend time on the family's members, the children, the wives. So I think the first priority is, of course, the work. And then after work, we still have this work-life balance. So I want to seek your advice to follow your presentation, brother.
Okay. So I would like to ask Brother Abdul Quddus Khan, how do you manage your life priorities? From Finland in Helsinki. Brother Abdul Quddus
Bismillah,
Khan.
alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This, subhanallah, these very great issues that actually there's two things. One is in principle and another is practical action. In principle, as Brother Abu Bakr mentioned, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Surah Zariyah, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. These are all these our responsibilities and the priorities. But in principle, that when we are in practical life, it's very difficult, except by the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who have the rahmah, the illam rahim Allah, those who Allah give the mercy upon them, they could give the practical, as all of you know, maybe most of all of you know this, our devoted and icon of Islamic movement in Bangladesh, late Professor Ghulam Azam. He was one of the model for us. Of course, the model is Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, then the Sahaba, then the consequences. But in our times and in the 20th centuries, 21st centuries, he is still our model, that he gives the priorities. He taught us also how to give priorities in practical life. We are trying ourselves, for instance, first of all, that we have to keep in mind that we should be always connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the first priority for ourselves, because there is two things: there's ibadullah and haqqullah, haqqul ibad and haqqullah and haqqul ibad. So first things, to being connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all situations, wherever I am. That it doesn't matter, but we keep in, as we know, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, after every mandatory ibadah or rituals, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says after the salat in Surah Nisa 100 parts 103, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Hajj in Surah Baqarah, that when your manasik Hajj is completed, you remember Allah most. And also in every after the ritual and mandatory prayers, it's because zikr is one of the ibadah that keeps us connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is possible in all situations. Even we are in junub, we are not in pure, we can also continue to keep connected. For instance, we are using the device for this program. If our network does not work, then we will be out of our program. So if we are, as one of the scholars, he says that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Surah Baqarah 102, in this verse, this it talks about the black magic, sorcery, this, that. By this, what they did, they learned from Harut and Marut to disconnect husband and wife. And it is very small things, but if we are out of remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we are disconnecting from everything, from all the good things. Disconnecting from Allah, it is disconnecting from the Jannah, disconnecting from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the priority. If we are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it will help us. It's time of prayer. My remembering will push me that it's your time for your prayer. At the same time, when I am in job, I will try to do the adl, that justice. Idiluhu akrabut taqwa. That justice is more close to the taqwa. So all the things, the priority will help us by remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and always the priority to remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and through remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we serve his creation as where it is we supposed to do according to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He prioritized the things. For instance, when it is salat, we should be in salat first. Then we'll keep our all things stop for a while to go for salat. When it is time for whatever it is the priority, it always should be pleased to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah will also help us. Fazkuruni azkurkum washkuruli wala takfurun. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to ask Dr. Manwar Hussain from London to share your experience of managing life priorities. Dr. Manwar Hussain. Okay, he's probably just... I would like to ask a very prominent person, Dr. Potri, sister from Philippines. So Dr. Potri is a community leader for a long time and in the Philippines, and has established successfully many projects, and is conducting a kind of ever, shall we say, evergreen energy. So Dr. Potri, would you like to share your, how do you manage your life priorities? Are you there, Dr. Potri? Okay.
Assalamualaikum. Sorry, I can talk now.
Okay. Dr. Manwar Hussain is ready now. Go ahead. Just share your, if you can also open your camera, it would be good for people to listen, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Jazakallah. It is nice to be here with you. It's my privilege. In a nutshell, we are living in a complex and dynamic situation, and always distraction by multiple things in our life. And when we are planning something, and always it is very difficult to practice on that. But the way I manage always one thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us about the prayer for the to be on steadfast. So I normally use one rules, which is 2-dot theory. I think that the straight path. The straight path always made by 2 dot, not 3 dot. So what is our ultimate destination? So our ultimate destination is Jannah, and we are living here. So 1 dot is in Jannah, and another dot is where we are living right now. And this is the, if we line it the straight path. So whatever I am doing, if this is whatever task in front of me, and what is my plan, whatever in my life journey, if it is on that straight path, I am following that. If it shows that even it looks like fascinated to me, it looks like very good to me, but if I see it create another dot on my journey, I try to avoid that. Only the things what is on my route, which is straight forth towards the Jannah, I'm always trying to keeping that one, and others I just avoid. That's a simple model I am trying to practice. Jazakallah.
Thank you very much. May I ask Dr. Mir Manzoor Mahmood, if you would like to share your life experience in terms of managing your life priorities. Dr. Mir Manzoor, thank you very much. Where are you from?
Alhamdulillah, I'm from Dhaka.
Dhaka, okay, please.
Dhaka. Alhamdulillah, it's my great opportunity to take part this session, valuable session, and I'm thanking you all of the participants of this session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Actually, I would like to listen from you also. And after requesting me to talk something, my prioritize of my life priority, manage my life priority. Actually, first of all, I would like to assess my capacity. What can I do, or what can I am not able to do. This is my first priority. And after above all my capacity, I remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us by this instruction that وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. This is my practice to manage my life priority.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you for your contribution. Is my brother from Cambodia, Brother Peace Muslim, are you ready? Would you like to share your valuable life experience in terms of managing your life priorities? Please, yeah, go ahead.
Assalamualaikum.
Here is
Doctor.
Indian Muslim community leader and IDB scholar. Please,
Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Alhamdulillah. Go ahead.
Assalamualaikum. Yeah, I'm very grateful to join the meeting this time. This time I have graduated from IDB, and then we in Cambodia we have formed the IDB Graduate Association, and then we just continue our activity like the fundraising or the scholarship, and then we provide to support another new generation of the IDB student, and then we have the committee for selected students, and this our activity, and then we have another activity for the community medical activity in community, and then provide like the consultation to the rural area and provide circumcision to the children. And then we also have another program for the vocational training for the tailoring, and then we have provide English and computer for basic knowledge of the community. And this time we just continue our activity, and we don't have more like other activity, because our activity is depend on the other support from the outside, from other NGO that have partner to support us. And then our project, we sometimes we apply to another partner, like the Muslim have and NGO in the other country. So that for the IDB graduate student is only just to have the collect money from the graduate student, and then we have the quarterly meeting to have the boosting for the activity, and then to have to encourage them to have their humanitarian relief activity, and we have the encourage them to join the activity for the support of social society.
Mashallah, you
And
a lot of
so that
work. You are doing a lot of work. I can also assist you in terms of giving you where the funding bodies are and how you can apply for funding. And I can also help you in terms of presenting a convincing case. I know there are other people there and there are some background noises. You can separately. I know you're outside, so inshallah, I'll speak to you separately. Let me ask if Dr. Potri is there. Is Dr. Potri there? Okay, I'll ask Sister Nadia, Sister Luisa Nadia, if you'd like to share your life priorities. Very active sister, Filipino sister, but Islamic studies teacher in Hong Kong. Sister Nadia, would you like to share?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not in a good place to my
So
audio and video may be
places,
not good.
that's
Yeah, I'm
fine.
outside. Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I ask Brother Sohail Rana if you'd like to share your life. How do you manage your life?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Where are you from?
I'm basically Bangladeshi, but from Maldives. I've been working here.
Madrid.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. Please give us some of your life experience in terms of how you manage your priorities.
It's a big question actually. So
you have to run your life. So
yeah.
how do you manage it? And I will then present. I'm just taking some experience from.
Actually, very important part of the life, how to manage the things. So as I'm physician or general practitioner, most of the time work related, and you know that as we are doctors, so we have to study a lot, and so that makes our lives little bit congested,
very busy,
and sometimes it's difficult to concentrate on important things, as our academic things also takes more time from us. So this is a very big dilemma, that how to manage the life priorities in. But when I feel sometimes that I should do this, but again I resist from that, because of, if I start these things, can I continue that one, or can I get anything better from that, or it will help in the long run, anything. But Alhamdulillah, to run some organization, and through that way, I also got some experience. So Dawa work is my priority, and for that reason, sometimes I have some opportunity, but I deny that one to do this work, because of, I feel maybe I will not get again this type of opportunity to give involved in the work if I busy with some another type of work, or another type of busy work. So that sometimes scared me. So but it is good that when I'm involving in Dawa work, it makes me happy, and it give me actually the energy. So that's why Alhamdulillah. But it's very big challenge to prioritize my life things. So I would like to hear from you and others, experienced person.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Bismillah. I've heard from our different countries. Last person is Dr. Sohail Rana from Spain. So
Maldives.
Oh, Maldives. Sorry, Maldives.
Yeah.
Okay. These are the contents. These are the contents. This is the. You can see. Ubudullah. This is Allah is saying, be slave to your Lord, who created you. Ya ayyuhan nas. Allah starts, Ya ayyuhan nas, ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, and those who believe. This is from Surah Baqarah. Then this is Surah Dhariyat. Several people mentioned about Surah Dhariyat. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Then there is also from Surah number 28. And then Allah is also saying, anyone who chooses this fleeting life as his priority, who will rush him to what we decide to give him. That means whatever Allah decides, Allah will give. And then he will go to Jahannam and suffering forever. Then Allah is saying also that the Jannah is far better abode, which is reserved with Allah. And it starts Zuyina linnasi hubbu shahawat, like that. It starts with that. And then say worldly life is no more than amusement, because it's only temporary and we all die. I'm 70. I don't know how much time I have left, but I have lost a son who was 0 on the day of his birth. Then I lost my wife, who was 44. And then I lost my son, who was 39, with whom I was living. So this is how life is. There is no age to die. So there are a number of quotations, more quotations from Quran. You can see, لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Human beings cannot expect anything unless he strives for it and stand firmly for justice, fulfill your contract, awfu bil uqud, fulfill your commitment, and a number of things. You can see, I'm not going to go into details because these are very powerful guidance in terms of life priorities. These are values. These are values that we need to have. Without values, no life can progress. This is the last quotation on Quran. اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. His day of reckoning, his day of death and reckoning, his hisab, his accounting, his answering is so close, but he's totally forgotten and turned away from it. وهم في غفلة. غفلة is basically totally forgotten, no heeding, and معرضون is turning away. ومن أعرض عن ذكري فإن له معيشة ضنكا. This is Surah Taha 1-4. Those who turn away from Quran and Sunnah, Allah will make dunya life difficult. So this is the last quotation on hadith. You can see deeds depends on the intention. So this is a vital hadith because it's Bukhari hadith number 1. If you read An-Nabawi's 40 hadith, one hadith talks about that the alim, a donor, and a shaheed, a martyr, will all go to Jahannam despite doing good deeds. This is very important for us because this is where ikhlas comes in. The intention has to be to please Allah and seek Jannah. If it is to please people and get praise from them, then Allah will give nothing because it was not intended for Allah and Jannah. So pleasure of Allah and Jannah are the most important intention that we should have. And several brothers spoke about that. Those who use authority and power unjustly will not enter paradise like that. And Tirmidhi hadith, a Muslim must abide by agreement. So if we agree something, we must abide by it. That's like a contract. It's a verbal contract, not written, but it's still contract. And the last one is another value, that those to whom I'm boss, they are your brothers. And Allah made them your assistants. So treat well these brothers. Okay. Look at this, Mark Twain, a big name in the Western world, saying that to change your life, you change your priorities. If the priorities don't change, their life will not change. And you also, very interesting thing is the third one, is saying you have to decide what your highest priorities are and have the courage to say no to other things. But how? The method is pleasantly, smilingly, and non-apologetically say no. And he ends by saying the enemy of the best is often the good. We are happy with the good and we don't go for the best. Therefore, we have to say no to the good in order to get the best, because it's the same fixed time we have. This is another scholar, Western scholar. It's a priority. If it is a priority, you will find a way. If it is not your priority, you will find excuse. So that means when we give excuse, we show that it is not a priority. If we are giving excuse for anything, sometimes we don't realize it. When we give excuse, sorry, I can't come to this program. Sorry, I can't do this. Sorry, I can't do that. Because I have this and that and the other, that means it's not a priority. It's not important and urgent for me. This is another thing about Peter Turla. Managing your time without setting priorities is like shooting randomly and calling whatever you hit the target. So you have no target, you are just shooting everywhere. So that means there is no priority. Because priority is focus, priority is target, priority is where I'm going towards. Priority is my direction. This is here, very, very interesting. Stephen Covey is the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that book. And he studied 200 years of leadership and to see if there are common habits. And he found 7 habits that made them successful leaders. So he's saying the key is not to prioritize what is on your schedule, but to schedule what is your priority. So our priority should be scheduled, not scheduled to become priority. Schedule not to become priority, but priority should become scheduled. Time and health are 2 precious assets. This is also, the Prophet ﷺ said the same thing. Time and health are ignored by people, and yet these are the most 2 vital life issues that we should always preserve and value. Secret of a happy life is giving God the first part of your day, the first priority to every decision, and the first place in your life. This is a scholar, a Western scholar, but look at this quotation. For happiness, Allah must be our first priority, as several brothers said, and then happiness will come. We can't buy happiness, but we can get happiness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if Allah is given priority in everything we do and everything we don't. Another thing is about family being a priority. This is, it's more important than ever to make our families the center of our lives and the top of our priorities, because if the family, in fact, family is more important than work. The work can change. If I die, my office can replace me, but my family cannot replace me. My children cannot have another father because I'm their father. So this is important to understand that family is the basic unit of any society. So that's why Allah and family are the 2 very important, in fact, number 1 and number 2 in life, whereby we can manage life better. This is probably the last quotation. There is no such thing as not having enough time. We say, I don't have time. What we are saying is, I don't have the priority for this. So everyone has 24 hours. So there is only what I make priority that I do. So there's no such thing as not enough time, but there's not enough priority. That's the point. So let's look at what's the priority: arranging tasks in order of importance and working through them sequentially, one at a time, to accomplish the desired goal. So I have a goal and I have some priority activities, actions to take in sequence that I can achieve it. I just want to take you to the last point. Ahmed von Donfer is a scholar of hadith. He's a revered Muslim from Germany in Munich. And he wrote a book, Research in Islam. And he said, MSC principle. M is must do, S is should do, C is can do. Must do is the most important. I must do it. Should do is, if I would like to do, I should do it. It's better for me. C is, if I have time, I can do it. So I use it as fard, sunnah, and nafal. That way we can fulfill the same purpose. Now, the purpose of prioritization is that we complete the most important and urgent tasks first. And I will talk about important and urgent a little later, in more detail. So most important and most urgent, we have to do first. This is the purpose of prioritization, because something is urgent means I have to do it now. And something is important for my life, I do it as a priority. So those two dictate priority. And I will show you a table, a graph to explain that in more detail. And then to classify the top value tasks. Which tasks carry more value in my life? So I classify them and I do them first. Also to protect me from high cost of vital work left out. If there is vital work I don't do, then there is a cost to pay. There's a painful cost. I have to suffer the consequences of ignoring a vital task that is important in my life. So I need to organize my life, my goals, my family with highest value. So if my life and my goals and the family, these are all connected with Allah. My goal is peace and happiness in dunya, and peace and happiness in akhirah. And without Allah, that is not possible. And also, my purpose is to be productive as an individual and any organization or unit or group I run. So I need to maximize my productivity so that I have my time is utilized most importantly. Surah Asr actually confirms the time management part. Surah Asr is the most important surah in terms of time management. And we also have to balance between personal and professional life. So the priority is to balance, and I will show much more detail in terms of balance. The core areas are that we need to juggle, we need to balance. There is personal time, there is family time, there is professional time, there are financial issues that I have to address, there are social duties that I have to undertake, there is a community contribution and some emergencies. These are the areas that demand time, and I have to balance and my life according to my priorities. So here, juggling priorities. Weekday mornings in the life of a working mom. Many things a mother has to do. The mother has to make sure the school-going children they get ready and they go. If they are big, usually they also take them to school unless father can give a hand. So this is where a mother is the best example of how to manage not only priorities, but also multitasking. These are, you can see these are core areas to juggle in life. These are also another way of looking at it, balancing these core areas of life. So this is actually Maslow is a scholar of the West. He beautifully summarized that the priorities of life first is physiological. That means I have to survive. I have to live. I have to survive. Then my safety issue, then my belonging, my family, and then my honor, and then my fulfillment of my dream. So these are classified starting from the bottom, go to the top. That's how Maslow gave details about how priority should be given so that we can consider what is more important than the other. In terms of, this is ex-CEO of Coca-Cola. So he created this this graph, if you like. Here you can see the most important, you cannot avoid health, you cannot avoid friends, you cannot avoid family, of course, and work. And there is also a spiritual part and community part that come together. Because of the spiritual requirement, I serve the community. So these are the juggling acts that we have to do every day. There are also details here. I have already given my, the file to the organizer of the program, Brother Yusuf Yu. If you put your email in the chat box, inshallah, he will send you the file. So these are, you have the fitness issue, the wisdom issue, the contentment issue, the unity issue, wealth issue, and peace issue. So peace comes from spiritual, you can see. And contentment comes from positive attitude of the emotion. Okay, how do you process them? So this is descriptive, then I go into. So first I need to prepare a checklist of all the tasks and apply Ahmed van Donfer's must, should, and can principle, MSC principle. Okay, then classify them based on importance. A is the top, most important, B is the second, C is the third, and D is the last. Then I create an action plan to complete the tasks. I allocate a block of time and hours, and I'll give you more detail about that. Time and hours to each task. I block a time. If I need 2 hours of work on certain issues, I actually make an appointment in my diary that is the task appointment, not a person appointment, a task appointment. Then I complete the vital and complicated tasks first, easy tasks later, because when I'm fresh in mind, I can deal with complication better than when I'm already tired. Okay. Brother Yusuf, can you mute? Okay.
Please go ahead.
So,
yeah, thank you.
okay. What happened? Let me see.
It's okay.
Okay. Then I have to balance the priority tasks over perfectionism. Sometimes we want to be perfect and we spend too much time on one item and therefore other priorities are left. So we need, we do our best, but not perfect, because perfection is not most of the time possible. Okay. And we maintain an encouraging work culture so that we don't get disappointed, we don't get disheartened easily. An encouraging work culture is, okay, whatever I can do, I am doing, and that is the best I can do. And I can always put the task list visibly on the wall or somewhere so I can see. Here is the detail I promised you. Stephen Covey, the 7 Habits man, he produced this, that there is the quadrant 1 is important and urgent. Urgent means now, and important is, it is important, like crisis management is important. Fard Salah is important. But when it is time for Salah, it becomes urgent. Okay. Then second category is, it's not urgent, but very important. Planning, strategic planning, empowering others, creating creative activities, recreation, Quran recitation. Of course, these are added by Muslims from Covey's matrix. So that's why you see a combination of Muslim and general content. There are things that are urgent but not important, like interruptions and junk mails, whether it is email or letters, junk mail. And nafal salah is not urgent, is urgent but not important. Like every prayer, we can add nafal salah 2 and 2 and 2 as many we want. And then there are things like not important and not urgent. Again, important and urgent, important but not urgent, not important but urgent, and not important and not urgent. So those are the 4 categories of classifying my priorities. That's the way we prioritize. And here that means Eisenhower decision-making metrics is saying that if it is important and urgent, you do it now. If it is not urgent but important, you decide when to do it. And if it is urgent but not important, you delegate somebody else to do it. And if it's neither urgent nor important, you delete. So from that, I decided to make it. This is 4D formula. This is another. I will give you from this. I will give you another one that I created. Easy to remember. 4D. This is also 4D. So here, it actually gives details, and I'm not going into detail, but you will be able to see. It's the necessity is number 1. The key action is to manage the necessity. Then what is not urgent but important is to focus. What is urgent but not important is to avoid. And what is wasteful is neither urgent nor important. A lot of social media time that we spend may be wasteful. Here is what I have created, 4D formula. Do, date, delegate, delete. So important and urgent, do. Date means put a date when you will do it. Date in future. Delegate and delete. Okay, this is easy to remember. Then I found very interesting 3-2-1 technique for time management. 3 is do the 3 most important priorities first. And 2 secondary tasks. And 1 personal commitment. So this is the way to get most productive and get priorities successful. This is also the activities and results are contained in this same important and urgent and not urgent kind of format. Same format, but with results. The urgent, and important, then urgent, not urgent but important, then urgent but not important, and not urgent and not important. So the results are added there. Now, what I do is I always share that you all need to look at your life and time, because we all have 24 hours, which is 40 minutes a day. Count it as a currency for the day. So there are 4 broad categories of time commitments. Personal time that I have to do myself. My learning, my eating, my sleeping. These are all I have to do myself. Nobody else can learn for me. Nobody else can eat for me or sleep for me. Organizational time is serving the community. That means mosque, madrasa, NGO, etc. Professional time is work, business, job or shop. Then social time is family, relative, friends, wedding, dinner, etc. So basically, if I have life priorities, life goals, and I look at, here is the example, I look at the weekly time management sheet and the hourly blocks, what I am actually doing, if I just record it for a week, which is 168 hours, and see how it has been, and then go into this category and see how much personal time I did myself without organization, without profession, without social, just me. How much time did I spend? If, for example, for a young person who is working, who has family and who has children, if he sleeps 8 hours a day, which is 1/3 of the day, in 60 years, he has slept 20 years. Now, it is possible, I have met a person in London that he sleep, I'm talking about 30 years back, he said he slept 4 hours a day. He had 2 PhDs, 3 lines of degrees, and 2 PhDs included. And he's a political leader in his area. He's also, he set up a big project. He's an African man, African American, African British. So he said he can sleep 4 hours without any physical impact, and he could spend 20 hours doing many things. So that's for him. I could not do that. I had to do 6 hours. So it all depends on every individual mindset, body, and how the culture has developed. So if we can look at these actual, what we call professionally as is, and then analyze them in terms of the 4 categories, where we spent how much time and how much productive it has been, whether I can save some time in one area in order to give more focus on certain priorities that I have. So then you change. It's like money, 40 minutes a day. How to move some minutes from here to there is like some money from here to there, so that I can get more results, more achievements, more success, and more free time. Okay. If we do priority, then we become more productive, efficient. It increases opportunities to work and reduces stress, and all these things are gains of prioritization. Okay. Also gains, we can deliver work on time, no stress. So these are gains, but these are losses. We are inefficient, and our work quality is poor. So these are lists of things that if we are not prioritizing, then we are going to suffer. This is another list of poor prioritization. What happens? Okay. Now, action plan. This is what I referred to earlier. Look at this youngwivesguide.com gave this beautiful priorities. First priority is relationship with God. Second priority, passionately pursue my husband. Third priority, spending time with the kids. Fourth is craft a healthy home. And 5, write and manage blog. So you can see how the priority is set out with God first. Okay. Now, action plan, you can see at the end, the do, decide, delegate, and delete. Those 4. Do, decide, or date. And here, what I have described, I have summarized. I have to have personal, social, work, and voluntary objectives. What are the four categories of time? What are my objectives of those? And all are connected to Allah and Jannah. Then the 1 hour slots of the week that I have shown you. Then record a typical week. Then categorize the hours that I spent on each of the 4 categories. Okay. Then I can analyze how I have done. And then I can change the time commitments. And this way I can actually get more results in my life. This is Islamic habit of successful Muslims. Wake up early, keep learning, take action. Number 4 is staying healthy. And number 5 is gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us. And these are the books I recommend. And that's the end of my presentation. If you have any question or comment, please feel free to ask me or give your comments. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, anybody wants to say anything, I will just stop share and come to the screen. There is brother V2043. What's your name and country, if you would like to comment? Because I was trying to get you to give your comments or even question. Feel free. Do you want to say something? Okay, there is a problem there. Okay. So anybody? Okay, brother V2043, if you want to give time, your name and your country, where then it would be good. You've given your WhatsApp, brother Yusuf. You will keep the record and inshallah share the file. Dr.
brother.
Potri, yeah, Dr. Potri, I was trying to get. You are a very busy lady, being a doctor and also doing a lot of work for the community. Are you there, Dr. Potri, Philippines? There is some problem. She's in Mindanao, in the south of Philippines. Okay, so how do you find? Does it help what I have presented, Dr. Mir Manzoor Mahmood? Please give your comment or question, anything that you would like to.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah. I am very delighted to attend this program through your discussion. I would like to ask a question. How can I start easily to prioritize our activities? How can I? If you have any suggestion.
Yes, I mean, basically, I said it in the presentation that you decide.
Yeah.
Use it. So, what is your life goal?
Yeah.
In terms of your personal, in terms of your social objectives, in terms of your professional objectives and community objectives, what I call organizational objectives, because you have to join an organization to serve the community, whether it's mosque, madrasa, or Islamic organization or whatever. So you have to have life goals. What are the most important things you want to achieve in those areas, aligned with the faith, aligned with the values? So then you look at what's important. Then the next step is what is most important and urgent. Urgent means now. For example, your child is sick. And your child, that means your family member is top priority. And if the child is sick, you have to go to doctor and you drop everything and take the child to doctor. So that shows your priority.
Yeah.
And urgency. So priority involves importance and urgency. Urgent means there's no time. I have to take action now. So you have that. So you decide what's important to you, and accordingly, you take that action. Important and urgent, you take action. Important but not urgent, you decide when will you do it. These two are the most important. The third category is urgent but not important. Somebody is knocking at the door. You can tell your son, go and have a look. Who is it? So this is delegating. And something that is neither urgent nor important, why should you waste time so much? So that's the delete part. So really, you want to say that what's your life priority, life goal, and what time priority you should give. Important and urgent 4 quadrants is about time priority. That's aligned with life goal. What's my life goal in terms of the 4 quadrants, in terms of my personal life, my family and social life, my organizational life and professional life. So if I'm in a job, what's my goal there? No, just earning money or earning knowledge and experience and skills and networking, all those come in, and you make contribution that they will remember you with. Like that. So all these, a legacy, I mean. So then in professional terms, you should have a legacy of a good contribution there. And if you connect it with Allah's pleasure, then you get salary accumulated with Allah too. We have to work, men must work to provide for the family. That's the Islamic requirement. So if I am doing the job for my family without thinking of Allah, then I'm still getting the salary. But if I'm thinking of Allah, this is my wajib duty, I have to provide for the family, then I get another salary from Allah. And then I see it on the Day of Judgment. So it depends on my situation. Everyone, I gave a formula, and I have to decide what my life goals are to be aligned with the faith, and then prioritize time in terms of urgent and important. That's the formula. Brother Abdul Quddus Khan, Helsinki.
Shukran, Jazeel.
Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair. Yeah, you are mute. You're mute. We can't hear you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have a few points. First of all, Ahsantu wa jazakumullahu khairi fid darain for your excellent presentation. Second things, with the all respect and love to brother Shohel Rana from Maldives, that this not only for the doctors that you have to update it with the knowledge, every profession needs to be updated if he is really a practicing Muslim in all branches. But we hope that us seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbi zidni ilma, and try to have a balanced life, then it will help us, inshallah. I am not advising you, it's also advice for myself. Third things, as brother have mentioned, one of our African British brothers for his sleeping habits. It's really that things, but I do feel that sleeping is some sorts of recovery of our tiredness. So this recovery is a barakah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's a ni'mah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes for us in the Holy Quran, that this وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. Then ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that whatever the time I am sleeping, it's not big things for me, but gives me recovery as much as I need my recovery for my everyday life. It will help us in the, in remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it gives benefits, inshallah. I think some of or most of us know our Sheikh Mamoon Al-Azami. He have also other topics like balanced life. It is relevant with this today's topics. So if we follow that one, we'll also get more benefit from this lecture, inshallah. And I ask dua from all of you that I can also take some action plan from this lesson, and it will help us, and we can also use these materials and knowledge with others, those who need to get the benefit of the humanity, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan, giving opportunity to this session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Khairan.
Alaikum salam.
Actually, one very busy and long-time leader, Brother Yusuf, you himself, how you manage your life priorities, then we from you.
Alhamdulillah. Actually, I'm retired in the, since maybe
Retired but not
9 years
tired.
ago from the school. Yes. Alhamdulillah. We just learning from our Ustadz Mamoon. Throughout these years, of course, I participated. Alhamdulillah, I have a chance to participate in some of the activities in the masjid and the Muslim organizations, and I thank Allah that He gave me chance to serve and also learn a lot from my involvement with Dawah. And all the time, actually, I think before my retirement from the school, I always take the school as the first #1 priority, and then the Dawah work as the second. And I always appreciate my wife that she take up most of my duty at home. Therefore, all my children's welfare and everything taken care of by her. Therefore, I spend most of the time in the school as well as for the community work. And but really, I did not do much, although I spent the time with different activities. And
You were principal of this Islamic school, right?
I was, but of course,
So that is a very busy job.
no. But the most important thing is the support of the staff, like Abu Bakr. But Abu Bakr has done shoulder great responsibility in the school.
Alhamdulillah. So that was a good team you had, and
Alhamdulillah.
running the show, right?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So just for the participants is concerned, number one, welcome all of you joining the program. And in fact, I've shared the presentation of Ustadh Mamoon in the chat box. Kindly download the PDF file. And secondly is that we have usually we use to announce our program in the Telegram group. Therefore, kindly download the Telegram software, the apps, and then you send us your phone number. Then I can add you into the group. Then you would be updated at, on time for the coming programs. And if you have any problem, you can WhatsApp me by the phone number that I've shared, as well as the Gmail that I have shared as well. So I would be most grateful for the convenience of our administration is you download the Telegram apps so that we can update you through the chat group there. Thank you.
Please, everybody make note of Brother Yusuf Yu's number, Hong Kong number. So if you can connect with him and then download Telegram, he will add you to the group where he makes the announcements every time. You know, he's the program leader. So we are partners in this business, and we have been for more than 3 years, right?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
So I met Brother Yusuf and Brother Abu Bakr Ma when I went there in February 2019.
Yes.
So, and also met Sister Nadia there. I have not been able to go to Philippines. Dr. Potri is shown here, but I don't know. I would have liked Dr. Potri's contribution because she has been a long time serving the community. Quite experienced community leader in the Philippines. But for some reason, I couldn't get any contribution from her. I don't know. Perhaps you can write if you're there. So any comment from the brother who has not spoken? You can unmute and speak, brother, without name. You have number but no name.
The V2041 isn't it?
V2043, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The brother is there, but maybe he cannot unmute or some technical problem.
Some issue. Okay. Brother Abu Bakr, you want to say something in terms of after the presentation? You spoke before presentation. Now you can speak after the presentation.
I think I have learned this metrics, important, not important, urgent, from some other program before. So I think basically you are talking about prioritize. Prioritize means a matter of choice, a matter of decision making.
Absolutely, very important point. Matter of choice. I say choice. First is chance, then you make choice, then you make change. Have three, chance, choice, and change.
So, for example, now we have in front of us two choices. One is go to see a movie, and then the other is Maghrib time is coming. So of course, of dinner is coming, dinner is serving, but the Maghrib time is also approaching. So it's a matter of prioritize. So we pray first, we put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the first priority, and then after that, we do our meal or see a movie, something like this. So, but sometimes it is some conflicting demand.
Right.
Time is only this. In fact, now you have to taking, for example, to deal with one matters or the others matter. Two matters.
So it's a choice. That the word you use, choice. We have to make a choice.
We make a choice. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes, for example, you want to see your father or see your daughter because both are not in your area.
Your time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is actually within among children because the children have needs and emotions. So sometimes they both want it, and you sometimes if you take both of them, they may want you alone. That
I remember one brother in the beginning. In theory, we all know but in practice, practical.
right.
So you have given us some important tools. For example, this matrix system. I try to practice this also.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody wants to say something?
Assalamualaikum.
Salamatullah. Yes, Rana.
Alhamdulillah.
¿Cómo estás?
Very nice presentation. Alhamdulillah. Just I have one question.
Yes.
Actually, we are making so much relationship in our lives, like friends, relatives, and so in terms of time, we feel that the relations it becomes poor, and it's due to not giving enough time. Those relationships are going not this how much time we should give to those relationships. That much time we are not giving, and it's difficult to manage those relationships. So my question is, how can we make those relationships actually good for both, and how can we care those relationships?
This is very, very important question, very, very vital question, because without relationship we cannot operate. We need each other. There is interdependence in society, interdependence in the family, interdependence in the workplace. So without relationship, a positive, productive relationship, we cannot function. We cannot achieve our goals because we alone cannot do it all. We have to have other people involved in it. So in those situations, just take the point that Brother Abu Bakr Ma was talking about, two children of yours wanting your time. So if it is, you can't give enough separately, but what you can do is a quality approach means how do I maximize the benefit to their satisfaction. So you can engage them with each other. You can do some kind. When let me give you an example. When my children, now I have grandchildren, when my children were very young, going to primary school, naturally they would quarrel at times. So then I would do some exercises with them. The kind of exercise, just one exercise was, okay, every one of you, let's play a game. Every one of you think of one good thing in your siblings, because they were thinking bad, so they were quarreling. So think about one good thing in your sibling and one area of improvement for yourself. So the focus on criticism was, or development was onto the person. And so at that time I had 4 children. So they had to think of 3 good things about their siblings. So in the process, they lost the purpose of the quarrel and so they got engaged. They started thinking positively about their siblings and thinking about development, self-development too. So, and then I rewarded them for it. So that was one exercise. There are many ways. So I got all 4 of them involved. And in a short time, they got into positive mood. So this is changing the focus, engaging them with each other. That way you can. So similarly, if let's say you are manager, as a doctor, you have assistants and nurses and others. So if they all need time, you can try it like this and praising them for their good deeds. So when they are agitated, they are not in a kind of negative mood or in a stressful situation or under pressure, for some reason, emotional, not necessarily time pressure or task pressure, but emotion pressure. So what you can do is start with positive comment, like somebody who is very dedicated, and you focus on the good thing of that person or the persons. So it will calm them down. It will give them some positive energy. If you appreciate something that is true, you are very punctual. You finish your time work within the deadline. You are competent. You are quite fit for this task. That kind of thing, many people are like that. Bosses don't actually appreciate, recognize those facts. These are not lies. These are facts, but bosses don't like to say. And leadership is about moving from bosshood to leaderhood. And there we appreciate people's, so that it's like leadership is like, this is the leader without which the four fingers cannot work. Okay? But they're all different. And that's why they become powerful. And it's a good team. This is how the team works. They support each other. So this is how you can also do it in society, and do it in the family, do it in the workplace. So basically drawing on to their positivity, drawing on to their quality, that will give them a lot of energy, positive energy, and will also look towards you with positive mindset. This is how, what I call quality time, not just spending time and wasting time, but using the time to build that relationship better. So when I was doing it with my children, not only they got a good relationship between them, but they also got relationship with me, because I was directing them and I was saying things, positive things about what they have, what qualities they have, what good they have. So this is how relationship can be managed and promoted. You will find it's very powerful tool. If you want to, a last comment on this is, if you want to correct somebody, don't go to the negative first. Go to the positive first. I would say the principle is give recognition of 3 good things in that person. And then say the 4th, which is the negative, is if you would do it like this, it is better. Instead of saying you did it wrong or why did you do it? That would be counterproductive. That would create a defense mechanism, a negative feeling. But if you say you are good at this, you are good at B, you are good at C, on D, you will be good at if you do it like this. Then you are actually, you have done the criticism without saying it, without negatively saying it. So these are some of the relationship building things that we can do if it is positive approach and positive wording and tone and facial expression and sort of body language. All these, if they're positive, if I'm thinking positive on the negative things that I want to improve, then I will deal with it positively. If I am already disturbed and agitated by the negativity, then I will not be able to do it. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else wants to make any comment or ask question? Okay, we had, I know many people see from the links, but many people from different countries wanted to join and told me so, because I circulated twice. First when Brother Yusuf announced it, and then yesterday. In fact, in here, London time last night, which is morning time for the Far East countries, and many people said we will join, but they will probably see it from the link. So I hope, and there is one brother who and one sister who has not been able to speak at all. I hope, inshallah, next time you will speak. Brother Peace Muslim has spoken. If you want to speak something after my presentation, you can do so. Do you want to speak? Do you want to say anything, Brother Peace Muslim? Okay, so I return the floor to the organizer, my very good brother Yusuf Yu, to do the conclusion.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Ustadz Mamoon, for your presentation and also the answering of the question. I appreciate very much how you handled the last remark about handling comment. And many of us maybe have learned a good lesson of, to maintain good relationship with people is also very important, to be efficient in implementing our work. Sometimes we have the heart and we are very eager to get it done, but without a good relationship, you might not get the support from the people you are with, and that is the key to success. And I also take this opportunity to thank all the brothers who take your time to participate in this webinar. And I really hope that you would come again next time, as well as you spread the news to invite more of your friends to join us, so that we would have a better webinar, and as well as the time of the speaker will be spent in a more effective way, because although after the webinar, we upload the video record in the YouTube channel, but I think the active participation in the webinar will be more effective. But
Absolutely.
anyhow, after this, I will upload to the channel. Hope you can share with your friends and invite them to join next time. So without further ado, so I'll close the webinar with dua. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asr. Innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus solihati wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair for joining. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Join us next week. Next month. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam.